Hey guys, this is Team Covenant. You probably know us by now. Hopefully you do. If not, then I don't know.
Shame on you.
We'll do introductions if we get enough comments. But we're here with a very exciting moment: the Fire and Ice chapter pack. I don't know.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I can't really be more excited. I feel like we've been like years without a Thrones pack.
Yeah.
Even though it hasn't been that long.
It's been a month.
It's been about a month, yeah.
About a month, but it's been a long month.
A long month.
And
It was a
we've been
cold
seeing
winter.
some really good cards, so I'm gonna hope that trend continues and we see some gems. So let's dive right in. Robert, you want to start off with Sir Imry here?
Yeah, sure thing. So this is Sir Imry Florent, a 2-cost, unique, 1-strength, military and power icon Bannerman Knight.
Nice.
Sir Imry Florent cannot be returned to your hand. If it is summer or winter, Sir Imry Florent gets +2 strength and gains deadly, even though he looks like a really nice guy.
He does look like a very nice dude.
He would kill you.
You know he's got a fox on the chest there.
Oh man,
gonna
that
start
makes a lot of
playing
sense.
Baratheon. No.
Florence, man.
So first of all, notable keywords: Bannerman Knight.
Mhm.
Knight in Baratheon is fantastic. Immune to what? First snow and winter, stuff like that,
Mhm.
which is the first thing that I think of when I think return to hand. Man, if it's summer or winter, he is outstanding.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
2 costs for a 3-strength Bicon is not terrible.
With-
And then
yeah,
you add Deadly.
Deadly.
Yeah.
And he's a Bannerman, so he works with the other
Be
dude.
careful about breaching those walls, though. What?
Yeah.
If you're playing Baratheon and you're going seasons, which probably means you're going winter, if I had to guess,
Mm-hmm.
he's fantastic.
Mhm.
2
Yeah.
for a 3-strength, 2 that's. I'll take it.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, what more to say, really? He's very good.
Yeah,
He's
solid.
very good. And I'm glad to see a Baratheon card that isn't just like a ludicrous effect.
Yeah,
Or
I
just
agree.
like-
It's a solid
It's
card.
Kind of
solid.
weird.
Yeah.
I just like good cards like this. Like if this were a drafting game, you'd be like, I'm gonna draft Sir Imry.
Nice, cheap,
Maybe
effective weenie.
maybe this is signaling a toning down of the power level of Baratheon cards. Maybe they've said, all right, Baratheon's caught up,
Yeah.
and now we're kind of like
They have their tricks.
let's do normal stuff.
Gonna
Yeah.
have some foundational stuff.
Reasonable stuff.
Well, let's look at the rest of the cards before we make
Yeah, let's hold on.
too big of a jump here.
All right, what do we got next?
Up next, we have Sir Garland Tyrell, a unique
Ooh.
3-cost Baratheon character. 3-strength Bicon.
Another knight.
Knight House Tyrell. Renown and Deadly. He has a passive. If it is summer, kneel Sir Garland Tyrell and discard all power from him.
And the war crest there.
And
Very nice.
Boy,
war
he's
crest.
loaded.
Yeah, look at those keywords. Holy smokes.
It is loaded.
It's good.
And he's got the war crest. Man.
He likes it cold though.
He
This
does.
is good.
It
Yeah,
gets-
this is
gets
really
all hot in
good.
the summer.
I mean-
Ugh, who wants to fight then?
I love that he's holding that rose as well.
Fantastic card. I mean, come on. It's got renown. It's got deadly. Perfect combination on those two. It's got a war crest if Baratheon wants to go that way.
And the
It's a
penalties
knight.
for summer, which I think is the weaker of the two at this point,
Mhm.
especially considering the agenda we'll get to later.
Yep.
But that's a great card. I actually really like the House Tyrell. I feel like there's a theme coming.
Yeah.
There's a Tyrell stampede on the way.
This is good.
I'm curious about how this passive effect works on him. Will he not be allowed to stand?
He would stand, but he would immediately kneel. I think.
Stand
Okay,
immediately
interesting.
kneel, yeah.
It's like
Passive
a
kicks in.
continuous thing that happens in the standing
But
phase.
I'm sure there will be, because he can still nonetheless stand and potentially be immediately knelt. I'm wondering if there will be some sort of combo that will work around
I feel
something
like passives
standard.
Huh.
happen first.
Yeah.
There could be maybe if there's like a card
it
that like when this
stops.
character kneels, this crazy effect happens. And
Yeah.
you just keep like.
Not that there is
kneeling.
one, but who knows? I don't know Baratheon as
Keep
well
a
as I know
lookout.
other
Keep a
things.
lookout.
Yeah.
So another great character for Baratheon, another just standard, could be even a Knights of the Realm style
Yeah.
rebuild.
Even just a knight. I mean, they're
I like him. Warcrest. What?
the knight, the old Baratheon knight
Price of
deck.
War.
Yep.
So,
Die by.
all right. Next up, we have a 1-cost neutral location, the King's Road.
Nice so far.
It's the north. After you win a challenge, kneel all copies of the King's Road in play to choose an opponent. Then, if it is winner, that player must discard 1 card at random from his or her hand, +1 initiative, and +1 gold.
Solid.
This is built for Greyjoy.
Yeah. Watch out.
Yeah.
But they use ships. They don't go on the roads.
This is totally built for Greyjoy. Bay of Ice, King's Roads, Captured Cogs, go first all the time, make it winner, Marauders.
Yeah, you're exactly
discard
right.
cards. Yeah, this is incredible.
Negative play experience. Greyjoy.
Watch
Make it
out.
even worse.
That's a
Greyjoy's bad,
location.
baby.
It's a great show card,
Oh
right?
man, I can't
Yeah.
wait for your response on this.
Ooh, New Balin.
New Balin.
It's important to note you haven't seen these cards.
I have not seen these
Neither have I.
cards. No. I prefer not to.
Look at
not
that
to
art.
Look
Super
early.
fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So all right, well let's look at him. We got a 4-cost unique Balin Greyjoy here. He looks a lot more he looks a lot more noble than his other versions. This
He
is
looks-
kind of
He's always
renowned,
wild.
if you
looks
will.
like old
Yeah.
Balin that is like just kind of thinking about things.
I'm still cold.
3 strength with the icons you've come to expect from Greyjoy, and noble, which is great. He's got renown, which is good. So the old one, the original one, had strength of Balin or less, can't defend.
Mhm.
So this one has, if it is winner, each of your characters gets +2 strength while you control more locations than each opponent.
Seems good.
What the heck?
What's
Oh,
your take
man.
on this? I mean, he's a noble. He's got renown. He has a pretty awesome ability.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
If you're into strength and
Winning.
intimidate or those kind of things. If that was like your house keyword,
Oh man.
it could be a thing, but it might also be a little.
I mean,
This
it's
is-
pretty common
I
for
am-
Greyjoy not to have very many wait.
I'm frankly terrified. This is
Yeah,
scary.
it's quite good. I mean, he would be a linchpin of certain decks. I mean, so when I'm looking at this, I'm seeing like, I'm running naval escorts, right? Like, I'm more or less getting the same effect. And at a certain point with Greyjoy, and this does happen, you guys don't know the pains of Greyjoy. But sometimes we don't need more strength ever.
It's true.
It's like we got a boatswain at 4.
Oh.
We can win any challenge we want.
We don't need
I
more
didn't
strength.
10 strength. I just had it.
So will this be redundant? Maybe a little bit, but I mean the effect is massive. I think that condition is pretty easy to meet.
It's not
of
going to hurt,
course.
right?
It is conditional, and it is something you may not need. But I feel like this card potentially is extremely good in melee.
Yes.
When you have a lot of opponents and you need strength so that you can block lots of challenges or make an attack and not have to
Yes.
commit too much, all of your characters getting +2 could be a major, major thing.
Absolutely. And I will say again, the pains that you guys don't know. A 4 cost in a winter choke deck is like,
It's not easy being great.
it's pretty high. I mean, that's like your entire turn right there, so it's got to be worth it.
That's right.
So a good card, and also one that you can potentially screw over the Greyjoy player by nightmaresing him at the right time and winning a challenge that you expected to win.
Nightmares
Useful, but
every
not
time.
mind-blowing. Is
Yeah,
your
yeah.
opinion?
I would say, here's the thing I would say is that this is something that Greyjoy can more or less already do. So it's not a new way to play. It's not a crazy effect that now changes deck archetypes. It's a character that you might include or might not, kind of a thing.
Or you're just saying that to make us not expect it when you run it in every deck you have.
I think I said that about
Yeah,
Gold
yeah.
too. Right? Scaling ladder's okay.
Whatever. Okay, next up we have Longship Great Kraken, which is a 1-cost unique location.
He saw the next card. He
Yeah, I
was
know.
freaking out.
It's a warship, and then it reads, if it is not summer, Longship Great Kraken gains, quote, dominance. Each opponent must discard the top X cards of his or her deck, where X is the number of characters in his or her dead pile. Limit once per round.
This is a card that I will never play, but it's a card that someone like Kaiser or even
Oh, man.
even the
Chris Kaiser.
even the
Are you watching?
random like Greg deck might
Yeah.
like try to
This is
break
like
this.
the Kaiser card if I've ever
This
seen
is
one.
this is a let's try to break this card and make a really janky deck
With
to do it.
Jank and combo.
Yeah. Now that said, I mean, can you? I don't know if you can, because let's face it. Like if you House of Dreams this, it doesn't do anything the first turn really. I mean, you may
Mhm.
get 1 mil,
Mhm.
and then maybe the next turn you get 2 or 3, and then maybe the next turn you get 4 or 5. Maybe you Valor, and that's if you're doing some serious work. And a lot of
Yeah.
times you're not. But especially because I was thinking like in a Raider discard theme, right? It's like where you're playing stuff out of their discard pile. You know,
Mhm.
you're getting effects like. But it's during the dominance phase, and most of those effects don't matter then.
It's dead
Like,
pile
who cares
and-
about standing
yeah.
with Salt Cliff in the dominance phase? And sometimes it's really just not going to do anything for you. And you can't win challenges with those Raiders anyway. They just sit there and mill and like suck. So
I feel like it's the sum of the parts. Like we're just getting more mill effects, and then as we get more mill effects, it's going to be a thing.
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
think
oh,
you're right.
my deck is gone.
yeah, I
well,
think you're right.
Crap.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we already have.
Right?
I've seen. Yeah, I
Right?
saw the next card. So we've already seen locally even the Kaiser deck. I'm gonna call it the Kaiser deck, where he basically discards his own deck. He plays Black Sails, or is it?
I don't know
I
what
don't-
he does.
I don't
I try not
remember.
to keep up.
He basically splits his deck, and it makes him really easy for him to discard his own deck. But he loops it so that he discards your whole deck. And this could potentially be a tool that goes in there just to discard cards quicker, but we'll see.
Yeah, we will see.
A discard
Hmm.
card
Oh,
is not
man.
cool.
This next card.
All right,
It's
up
just the
next-
art, man. I haven't even read it. It's just the art. It's finally for once a holy character that's not drowning.
I am, I'm beside myself with this card. Holy
All right, up
smokes.
next we have Dampierre's Drowned. It's a 1-cost Greyjoy character, 1 strength, military power, Ironborn, and it's holy. If you control more locations than each opponent, Damphair is drowned, gets +1 strength, and gains an intrigue icon with a naval enhancement. So, a 2-strength Tricon with
For
So
one cost
a one
with a
cost
crest.
non-unique crested character.
Okay, this card.
This is what you've been wanting. This
Well,
entire time.
yeah, it really just makes you hate all the holy weenies that have come before it.
Mhm.
Because, so you're telling me you can do it. You can produce a card that is just a good holy character that I can throw in on Power of Faith turns, that can just get the job done, fill in those holes in the holy deck. This is phenomenal. I mean, if you're going to do a holy deck that doesn't lose, it's going to have this guy in it.
This also combos very well with that Balon that we had earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have a 4-strength Tricon,
4-strength Tricon.
for 1 cost. Naval enhancement on intrigue.
And you get that Victorian holy guy in there, Renown, just swing in twice, may stow away for 3 challenges.
I mean,
This
even
is
if you're
crazy.
just talking, you're probably going to have more locations than the opponent.
If I'm just talking.
If you're just talking. Even if it's not a
But I
holy
like to
deck,
say-
just a 1-cost, 2-strength, non-unique character
Yeah.
that has Tricons,
But I want to have you guys know there's nothing inherently more location-y about the Greyjoys than there is other houses.
Except for the locations are better.
I'll have you know, just the fact that I can destroy them with
there
impunity
is some
doesn't mean I'm going
phenomenal
to have more
locations
of
in
them.
every house at this point. You look at the Martells, you're like,
There are, but nobody
But
also
they have a
gets
ton of
rid of them.
locations.
how
like
many
Greyjoy.
0 and 1-cost awesome locations does Targaryen have? And I'm going to tell you the truth, it's not that many.
I don't know.
I'm just saying, it's like,
That's
I'll
Lannister.
play the 0-cost
That's Lannister.
location.
But zero
It's a
cost
ship
is-
when I want it to be, and it's a save when I really need it to be.
Great.
Yeah.
You guys don't know.
You don't know the
You don't know
pain
the,
of Greyjoy.
the pains of being a Greyjoy.
The reason it's good is because you have location removal in Greyjoy. Who said? I think Tim said that just a second ago, or somebody about it's not that I have better and more locations that I can take care of yours,
Yeah.
which is true.
All
And
I know
that's
is that
good.
when I'm playing a
I
Greyjoy
said
player, at any point in the game, if you walked over and said, "Hey, who's got more locations?" you 95% of the time it's going to be the Greyjoy player.
You just
For
have
whatever
to
reason, whether it's
just-
because you play more locations or get rid of mine. it
Just
doesn't
stop
matter.
using those seat of powers, and the problem will be solved.
I
That's
don't
all I'm
see the
saying.
power.
Not
It's
you,
true.
but just
Yeah.
the Baratheon players.
The royal you.
Stop popping your 0 cost reduced by 2 locations.
Yeah.
You won't have an issue.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's all
If
I'm
your
saying.
deck was more than Seat of Powers and Narrow
Alright.
Seas, you'd be fine.
So next up, we have King's Landing Guard, Lannister 4-cost army, 5 strength, military intrigue icon, no attachments. Response: after you win a military challenge in which King's Landing Guard participated, discard a card at random from the losing player's hand. It's just what you needed, right? More discard.
It's so good, man.
Well,
That slots right into that army deck.
It
so
slots
well.
right into the army deck because the army deck had essentially one big sacrifice. I have this Lannister Warcrest deck, and it's essentially Warcrests and armies predominantly. But anywho, it was only able to do one intrigue challenge. And of course, the hallmark of Lannister is that they're going to try to deck you, or not deck you, deplete your
Hand
hand.
you.
Yeah,
Hand
hand
you.
you. Hand you. So anyway,
Unhand.
it was difficult to do that, even though I was running 2 claim plots and all this kind of thing. This changes that. Furthermore, if you have multiple copies, they each trigger their response. Plus, if you can get more military challenges off via plots, and you have the capacity to stand army characters, which I do. You can just you can keep doing this
It's
stuff.
not high ground, but what's the other one? It's the 3 cost. They don't
Yes.
kneel for
Yes.
military. That's something.
Well, I
Or
mean,
even if you're using
Even on the
Marbrand
defense.
or whatever his name is.
I mean, you can't even chud these guys out because it's like, hey, I'm gonna swing, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna block, and you're gonna lose a card.
see you. 4 cost.
I mean, the idea of
No
hey,
attachments.
If you win a military challenge with a 5 strength character involved, that you also get to pay the penalty for intrigue. It's
Since
like,
when
I
was
won 2 claim
Lannister-
military and discard a card, and then I'm gonna go ahead and intrigue you.
Since when were they
Unbelievable.
so good? Since when were these Lannister characters so good?
Well, generally, whoever has the money is going to have the more armies. So I
Have
don't
the
know.
more.
Have the more.
Yeah, and
armies.
5 gold's like toilet paper for Lannister.
Yeah.
I was in the middle of a thought that I was gonna throw out here, and then you flipped me to Tommen, and it's like, how can anyone think seriously about this game? with
Where
this card on
where are
the
his
table?
kitties? Oh, I
Look at
don't
that
know.
kid.
He's adorable. Who's reading this one?
I'll take it.
Okay.
Let's talk about Tommen Baratheon.
Tommen's, man.
He's a 1 cost, 1 strength power icon.
He's a king and a lord.
Lord.
A king and a lord, House Lannister only. Any phase,
Spoilers.
if it is summer, kneel Tommen Baratheon to look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Switch any one of those cards to the card in your hand if able. Then put the remaining cards on top of your deck in any order. So this is essentially it's a better version of Draw Tommen in summer. basically. It's what
It is a much better version. More importantly,
It-
it lets you anticipate your curve in terms of your drawing curve. It's like, oh, I need these cards.
put them
sooner
back
rather
in
than
any
later.
order.
Yeah.
That's significant, and you're going to be doing that every turn. So you're
Better
going to be
believe
really dictating your draw. So it doesn't add cards to your hand like the old Tama does. You don't net one, but
It controls
the
your draw.
quality.
I feel like that's still
really
fine.
No,
controls.
it's,
This
it's
is
absolutely
completely fine.
fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
and we kind of alluded to it earlier, but again, a lot of people were saying that the new summer agenda that we're about to look at was probably only really ideally suited for Lannister, and I think this card just confirmed that
Yeah.
that theory 100%. If you're not only doing this, but your draw cap's increased, and you're looking at the cards you're
You
going
can
to
draw
draw.
all 4 of those.
Yeah, it's absolutely
again next turn.
terrifying.
That's-
Yeah.
Nuts. Or draw all 4 and then use his ability. I'm liking that.
It's nice.
You got a boring
Yeah.
one. Hey.
Yay. This is the King's Road. It is a one-cost, non-unique Westeros location that reads, after you win a challenge, kneel all copies of the King's Road in play. Then, if it is summer, draw a card. It also happens to add +1 initiative and 1
It's
gold.
another King's Road.
I'll tell you what.
We already have one of these this back.
It's the summer version.
I'll tell you.
Summertime, man,
I'll tell you why this is interesting. Is I have the undercover love, not so undercover, but like the subtle love of Greyjoy Summer, right?
Yeah.
And
Pioneered
this,
it.
this card actually works really well in that deck because in that deck you win initiative and you go first. So you get the
Mhm.
first challenge one. You're going to be drawing that card. You're also going to get Bay of Ice for an additional card because you're winning initiative, and you're getting Kings of Summer if you run the agenda. So that's a pretty easy 3 cards.
And with your like greater than average card quality against other houses in Greyjoy, I think this is a gem for you.
I think this is good.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just crazy. Why are we kneeling all the copies of the King's Road? What does that do?
It's like Bay of
Um,
Ice. I mean,
But I mean, like,
Good
it's
question.
not like they trigger off of being knelt.
No, but it prevents the other ones from triggering.
so
How
like
does it prevent the
like,
other one from being triggered?
if
Because
Yeah,
they also say kneel
no.
all copies.
Yeah, but
No,
it's
it
no.
doesn't. Read it. It's after you win a challenge.
You're exactly.
That's the
I think
cost.
you're exactly right.
You
I'm
kneel
not
all the
sure.
other ones. It's not
But-
like kneel
No,
it to
it's
do
one of
this.
those-
After you win a challenge, kneel all copies of the King's Road in play.
you have to
Period.
satisfy the
Oh,
entire.
so you have
Yes.
to kneel. Okay.
Yeah, it's
yes,
like Bay of Ice.
they're
It's
right.
exactly like
Yeah,
Bay of Ice.
okay.
The
Yeah.
vocabulary.
I stand corrected.
Yeah. So, I mean, in Thrones is kind of weird sometimes, but you just have to look at precedent.
Now here's a card.
So it works.
I love Ilaria.
Up next we have a 3-cost unique Ilaria Sand, a Martell character. 3 strength, intrigue and power. It's House Martell only. She has stealth, and she has a nice little ability.
She's a bastard too.
She is also a bastard.
Actually, funny.
Lady
that's a-
She's
bastard.
one of the Vipers.
That's a big ability.
It's a pretty big ability. While it is summer,
All those
Ilaria
words.
Sand gains response. After an opponent plays or puts a character into play, Ilaria Sand claims 2 power if that player controls more characters than you. Limit 3 times per phase. So she could be gaining 6 power a phase.
Really, it's a situation of you have her in play. If they get ahead, it's like, well, go ahead and play characters. I want
Plays
you to.
or puts into play. That is
Steven's
phenomenal.
is awesome.
This
right now.
is
I don't see how this.
this is silly. To
Like,
me.
okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go out on a limb here. I'm gonna say I don't understand how this doesn't get restricted extremely quickly. This seems super potent. 2 power, 3 times per phase.
Ambush in.
Like phase, really?
you can do it
Phase?
marshaling and then do it.
Like,
Well,
imagine
they
the
just
situation,
ambush
right?
something in and challenge.
I mean,
phase.
this is stupid in melee.
I don't
It's
understand.
just
I don't understand
silly
this.
in melee. Like, how does this push the game forward? In any,
I don't-
I don't know.
Like I'm kind of shocked. Like this is so
It's safe
strong
to say
me.
this is
I mean,
insanely
it
good.
is. It does have to be summer, but
It's one of those cards that you can technically play around it, though. Like, it's going to change the way you play.
But I mean, like, if I have 3 dudes out and you have 4 dudes,
Mhm.
and then it's like, all right, marshaling, I win initiative, you go first.
you can't marshal anything.
Well, you do for 2 power. This is the weird thing. Like, so if it's not summer, you get a 3 cost, 3 strength Bicon with stealth, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it is summer, you have essentially
Power
a,
grab
a
city.
game changing ability sitting there that
It's important to know. I think winter is getting really good right now.
Mm-hmm.
So the odds of it being summer, like being summer, is going to be
Hard.
an effort. So there is that aspect of this. It is conditional on the fact that it is summer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Cards like this worry me though because you never know a year from now. Is summer going to be better than what's going to be more popular? Like
Yeah.
this is just
I'm nervous about this, without question.
I'm very nervous about it. It's like you're now changing the landscape of the game to whether or not I actually want to play characters anymore. It's like if you don't play characters, you're going to lose. If you do, they're going to win.
You're exactly right.
I mean, it would have to be a situation where you're going to have a deck that wants to play a lot of characters, and you have to have more characters than them. And for it really to stop you, they're going to have to have some power. Like if they're at 3 or 4 power, it's not as big of a deal.
I still would be so reluctant to do it. I mean, that's a turn of challenges. Usually will claim you around 2 to 3 power. One character gives you that? Scary, man.
Yeah, I'm very
That's very
very nervous.
scary.
I can't wait to see what everybody
You
else
put this
thinks
in a
about
renown.
this.
You put this in a renown heavy deck. First turn, they can't play a character the rest of the game. Like,
yeah.
If you really we saw Martel be able to explode to 10 to 13 power in a single turn, even on a 2 the Spears turn, is ludicrous.
Yeah.
What's really
And
terrifying?
then you're locked. Like you can't play a character for the rest of the game, or they win.
This is
I
very
don't know about
nerve-wracking. And we have a player locally, Zero, who made a sit back and watch type Martel deck. And this fits right into that. He nearly won without ever really declaring any types of
just
challenges.
Taste for Blood and
but
Alaria now. And
this thing is bananas. Bananas.
So
it's crazy.
It's safe to say, for me at least, this is.
We just burn it. You
of
don't
course.
care.
We'll burn it out of the middle.
In the top tier of cards in existence. This is. I feel like
Yeah.
it's been a while since we've opened a pack and we've seen a card that's just so obviously that good.
Yeah.
It would be as if we opened the Targaryen Deluxe for the first time and saw Daenerys.
Yeah.
Dragons don't kneel, like renowned. She's got a noble icon, like all that. And now it's like, yeah, that's good, but it's not as good as it could have been perceived.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to see this in action because I agree it's amazing, but is it as amazing as we think it is?
Yeah,
Tell us.
probably not. But I will tell you why this is cards that always are red lights to me. Is like you give a Danny example, and it's like dragons don't kneel to attack during challenges. Cool. This is a game about challenges. But this has nothing to
This
do
is
with
a game
challenges.
about like marshalling
This
and
is a game about
logistics
nonsense.
and-
It's like, oh, now I play a card and you win. Like that's not what Game of Thrones is about to me. So I mean, it may be an interesting kind of caveat, but I think it would be cooler if it was like if you attack with 2 or more characters, she gains 2 power. Something like something that's a little bit less.
And it's
screwed if you do, screwed if you don't.
And it is so good in Melee. Like if you make it summer, the fact that it is so tailored to each individual opponent at a time. It's like, well, I won't trigger it on the opponent who has fewer characters than I do, but there's still 2 other guys who may have more. And then it's retroactive, so it's like now they put it in, and then, bam.
Dude, the per phase too is intense.
It is.
Limit 3 per phase is nuts.
I'm shocked.
Because I'm as a Targaryen player. I'm
1
picturing,
power,
man, I'm gonna
maybe.
drop 2 or 3 characters with ambush, and it's like, ugh.
It's reminiscent of the Shadows Bob card where he can stand 3 times per phase. And it's like if that were 3 times per round, that would be fantastic as it is. But 3 a phase, it's like, are you kidding me?
How about Sirio Pharrell? You know?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you could collude with this so hard in Melee with Sirio. Are you kidding
Martel
me?
is the
It's like, hey, I
collusion
want you to win. Boop, 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 boop. Dominance, standing.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Anyway. So
Watch for it.
This could be interesting.
Yeah, watch for it.
It's a card. All right, next up we have Oberyn's Shieldbearer. 2 cost, Martel card, Bannerman ally, 2 strength, military icon, House Martel only. Any phase. If it is summer, discard Oberyn's Shieldbearer. Cannot be saved to cancel the next 3 effects triggered by a single opponent of your choice this round.
I think that's fair. I think that's well costed.
Good.
It's
So good.
exceptionally good.
Mhm.
I wish I had it against Alaria.
Run Martel.
I mean, this to me, it's so good in marshalling. It's so good in challenges.
Man, what a great choke card. There's the so Will Lentz, and I think Kaiser was doing some stuff with it as well. But this like Martel choke deck, right? This guy.
Yeah,
It's
watch out.
weird.
This guy.
It's weird because like you don't want it to be summer in your choke deck, but 3 reducers that can't work is pretty tempting.
Yeah. Huh.
I don't know.
You just got your gold and pop. See you.
But it's well costed. 2 costs
Yeah.
for that effect makes a lot of sense.
Solid card. It's no Alaria Sand.
No.
We'll be saying that.
He is a
for
bannerman.
long
He is a
time.
bannerman.
He's a
Worth noting.
bannerman. That is important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also an ally.
Absolutely.
People,
Important to know.
people never ran Dissension anyway.
You say that. Wait, well, isn't it? It's not even Dissension that's worse. What's worse is House Divided.
Yes.
I hate that card.
I love it.
That's about it. It's good.
Lannister.
Sir Eris, those kinds of things. Is it me on the long plan?
It is.
Sure.
All right, the long plan. Is that, who is that?
I have no idea.
Playing a game of Savas there, huh? Wow, look at that
It's,
stupid
it's
brain.
not Varys, is it? I mean, he's the only.
Brain looks crazy.
No,
Put him
I
back there.
think that that might be. I don't know who that is.
It's like a post-Tywin Littlefinger baby.
Surely he's Martell, right?
Yeah, you would think so. The long plan.
Oh, I know what this is about.
Shadows 1, House Martell only. After you have lost your third challenge in the same phase, bring the long plan out of Shadows by paying the rest of its gold cost. Then claim 3 power for your house.
Martell?
Oh my word!
All right,
It's worth noting that this is attack or defense.
Yeah, you were. Oh my word! That's a bummer. So wait, hold on. Before we get into the actual card, this is awesome because this is talking about the plan between the Martells and the Targaryens, which I love. If you haven't read the books, you won't know what I'm talking about. But if you have,
Spoilers.
I'm not going to spoil it. But fantastic. Secondly, that's crazy. It's like, I'm gonna attack with a 1-strength guy. I dare you to block. If you need 3 power,
I don't know.
it's like,
Do I just not like Martell? Do I have a prejudice, or are they just bad for the game? I mean, just tell me now. Somebody
There's a
tell
reason
me.
they're
truthfully.
way down south.
I think I share your perspective, so I'm in no
Number
position
one,
to
like
judge.
tons of restricted cards, always now winning the championships. But the reason that this,
Can we quit
What?
getting them good cards? Just kidding.
it's not a negative play experience. It's
It's
just
not.
a non-play experience.
Yeah, it's like, wait, I have lost and yet won.
It's here. I have 3 power and I win the game.
I mean, that's always
whenever
been
you
the
were beating
theme and
me.
the, and the
It's-
purpose of Martell, but it's just like, what do I do?
it's an interesting situation because if I'm at 12 power, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm in a military. I dare you to block. Oh, I'm in an intrigue. I dare you to block. And then it's like, I'm gonna do a power challenge. I dare you to block. Even if I lose 2 of those,
Mm-hmm.
if you see I have a card in shadow, it's like, well, now can you really even challenge me?
Mhm.
Yeah. And you have to have 1 gold in the gold pool.
It's true.
So there are signals for this card. There are ways that Martell players can bluff with the card in shadows and 1 gold.
That's more what I'm
Two
saying.
blades.
which is cool.
Just
Yeah.
save a gold and put a card in shadows, and it's like it totally changes how your opponent.
So
Gotcha.
those kinds of things are cool.
You
Hey,
wanna
you
let
can
me
cancel this
win.
response, right? This is just
Yeah, it's just a
Shadows
standard,
event, really?
standard response. So it's not a
So
dramatic
we're talking-
effect. I don't even know that it'll really see play,
We'll
to be
see.
honest with you. But at the same time, I mean, it's kind of I don't know. I guess that maybe I'm not that fond of just, hey, here's power that you didn't think I had and now I win out from under your...
Just
It's a long plan, man.
quick question, just to make sure I'm not overlooking something obvious. It says after you've lost your third challenge in the same phase, and then later limit once per phase. Is there any other phase outside of challenges where that's even possible? Because you can't do it with the epic battles.
Unless you play 3, right?
Well,
No,
they're
but
their own
different
unique
separate
phase.
phases.
Oh, separate phases.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just wondering.
What is it? Is there Den of the Wolf shenanigans somehow?
You could technically do like
Can you re-challenge phase?
during an
You
epic
couldn't
phase,
get-
you could have Kyle or not Kyle, the dude that when you kill, you get another military
Oh,
in
like
that
you
phase.
sack Marcella, that kind of stuff.
Well, in an epic phase, there's 2 challenges
Huh?
already.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you each get a challenge. You could potentially
Oh, I
lose
see
those
what you're
Lose
2.
on the offense, lose on
So-
the defense.
Gotcha.
And then
Anything that generates another challenge, then like the start
The
card
start.
when he dies,
do them in the military.
could easily result in that. So it's possible, but like
And it's also, I mean, if you're losing a power challenge, you're getting. But again, I think
more importantly, if I
Scary.
lose 3 offensive attacks,
Yeah.
like I don't have to be losing
you
a
can
power
put him
challenge
in
to lose
a
all 3.
you can put him in a really tight situation. Now that won't happen terribly often, and ultimately, Martell is the house that is really just making Melee more or less kind of a joke. I mean, what more can you really
It's true.
say? It's like I'm just gonna sit here and gain power. I'm not gonna play the game at all, and then I'm gonna win.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
Thanks,
okay.
Zero.
Okay. So whatever.
Whatever.
We'll see.
Martell.
Martell.
All right, moving on. We have.
I feel like we need a segment. We used to have the "What's the Deal with the Lannister"
Yeah.
on the podcast. We just need like a Debbie Downer style Martell. Where it's like, wah wah, you got another good card.
We're so bitter. Okay, next up is Bran or Bran.
Brandon Stark.
Bran
He's
Stark.
looking insane.
He's unique. He's 2 cost,
Dude,
2
he's a
strength,
skin
power
changer.
icon, and he just took something he shouldn't
It's right
have.
there.
I don't know what he did. He's a skin changer and a lord. That's
yeah,
crazy.
spoiler alert.
Hey,
You
hope
didn't
you
know
haven't read
he's
the
a skin
books. Anyway, moving on. If it is winter, Bran Stark gains, quote, challengers. During a challenge phase, kneel Bran Stark to choose and kneel a standing, non-participating, non-army character with higher strength than printed cost. The character is now participating in the current challenge on your side. End quote.
That was like a chapter from the book.
Yeah, I know,
Pardon me
right?
while I give this soliloquy.
It's like your opponent asks you, "Hey, what does that card do?" Well, just
All right.
read it.
Let me
Like
take
in
a
5
glass
minutes.
of a drink of
A
water.
non-participating, non-army character with higher strength than printed cost,
Mhm.
which is not typical of non-armies.
Well, true, but there's also the card we
There's
get
the
last pack
star
Moors,
cards.
where we can discard a card from our hand to give character plus strength.
I know.
And your
There's
opponent, this is your pulling
endless
your
endurance.
opponent's characters in to
Yeah.
help you is what's happening.
Yeah.
Right. That's the way that I'm seeing
Right.
this.
I mean, you could do it to yourself, technically.
Yeah.
So, as just a flavor note, this is pretty funny because as a skin changer, if you haven't read the books, I'm sorry, close your ears.
Oh, I thought you were about to speak from personal experience.
No, that'd be awesome.
As a skin changer.
But when it comes to the books, there are moments where he's strong enough to become another person. So this is funny because he's pulling
What?
another person into the challenge, acting for them.
Oh, okay, so he's
So-
essentially becoming it.
Yeah, that's a really. I get what the flavor of the
Can
card's
you do it
doing,
without
so
weirding
I at
me
least
out?
wanna know that.
No, he cannot. That's assured.
I think it's a very strong card, especially it's a new theme
Mhm.
within.
It is true.
It's one of the
Breaching the
first
walls.
like real control-y type
Sure.
things that I've seen
Moors.
Stark start really doing.
It's
I like
certainly
it.
an interesting thing for Stark, but it also is within their flavor of like manipulating strength and challenges and stuff. I think it's really, really clever, really
It's very
fun.
mystical.
I also think that it's a great foil to things like Naval Escort and the New Balin and
Mhm.
things like that. So,
Yoink.
especially because all those are winter effects. So the Stark v Greyjoy winter battle is potentially going to be a clash
Yeah.
of titans.
I can't wait to see
By
that.
the way, I accidentally read the next card, and I want to punch a Stark in the face.
No, you don't. You love it.
Hold on.
Oh my word!
We're moving
All right,
on.
House of
evidently.
Dreams.
Up
All right, go
next,
ahead.
we have a 3-cost unique Stark location. It's Winterfell. It's a stronghold. It's House Stark only, and it's no attachments. Challenges: if it is winter, kneel Winterfell to increase the claim of the current challenge by 1.
Stupid.
I love it.
I'm walking off.
I love it. I'm so happy right now.
All I have to say is there better be some good Targaryen cards coming up because this is insane.
That's so good.
This is House of Dreams. All right, I'm gonna start and play. I'm gonna make it winner. Mira reads the bomb, and then it's like, oh, I'm gonna kneel and make this claim go up by 1. Are you kidding
No,
me?
it's I'm gonna attack you for this challenge.
You don't care.
You defended with everything? Cool. I won't raise my claim. Now I'm gonna do my military challenge. I'm gonna raise my claim. I'm gonna winner's coming it to claim 3 from
well, or higher.
Claim 2 from a valor turn.
Couldn't you have it claim 2, raise it by 1, claim 3, winners coming, claim 4?
You could do
winner's
any number of things.
Coming limit 3, I think.
Also, important to note, what is the one where is it that your opponent has to pay the claim? No, that's the Martellus. Do you guys have something like that? It's lethal counterattack, I think I'm thinking of. Because I was thinking you can raise the claim of your opponent's challenge too, but it doesn't quite work for the Stark. So
Well, well.
it's a
That's
bummer.
a location. That is a
That's insane.
good location. Even if
Seriously.
you don't House of Dreams it. Even if you just have 1 or 2 of those in your deck in a winter deck,
You're
it
gonna-
shows up.
That's a dream deck.
It's a dream
If
deck.
I've ever seen a dream deck.
I feel like these seasonal effects are becoming so potent that it behooves you to be ready to make it one or the other in pretty much any deck. It's
Maybe
like
the Raven Song plot comes back in.
Yeah.
Or just to deny a season.
Sure.
Yeah.
With the Ravens, with
But the
Ill
thing
Tidings.
is, if you're running the new agendas, which we haven't talked about yet, like
It gets
you
harder.
can't do that
Yeah.
unless you are also
We'll get
turning
there.
to one.
We'll get
anyways.
there.
yeah.
That's insane.
That's really
It
good.
is.
You run all 2 claimers. I think you'll see a really aggressive deck out of this.
Like even if you just slot that into
Watch
like
for
a
it.
Siege of Winterfell deck, like if it's just there,
Mm-hmm.
it's like cool.
I
Yeah.
would love to have that in Greyjoy.
I love. Yeah.
Looking
So,
at it longing.
all right.
Jelly.
Yeah.
Next card is Green Dream. It's a dominance event. It's not restricted by house. If you're running a season's agenda, search your deck for a non-Raven card with either the word summer or winter in its text box. Reveal it and add it to your hand. Then shuffle your deck.
Hello, Wintertime Marauders.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, right?
Yep,
What?
I'm gonna go get Wintertime Marauders with this. It's also worth noting that this hits the text or the flavor text. So if flavor text has winter or summer in it, you grab it.
What?
There aren't any that I've found yet,
Oh man.
or that Matt
Should've
Phillips has
flipped
found
to the
yet.
next one.
I'm just
So that does work,
but
huh?
but it's in the text box.
I wonder if that's intended.
I'm just glad I can tutor out Tommen now.
I mean,
This
you
is
can go get-
awesome. But it's dominance, so it's not as good.
Yeah,
But I mean,
But it's immune to the intrigue challenge,
But
it's true.
unlike certain effects that draw cards.
dude, look at that art.
Is that
I
a new
know, the
Cal?
art is-
Did
It
we
is.
just see a new
It
Cal
is.
done there?
I accidentally saw it.
Whoops.
I mean, we've seen this art forever.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Khal Drogo art from like a year ago. But
it's really.
This is a great utility card. I think you'll see some seasons players will go for this card, some season players will not. It just depends on the type of player you are. It's a good option to have. I don't think it's broken or anything. It's very nice. Very good. All right, Zach, did you just do Green Dream?
I did.
I'll take the honor. No,
I was hoping you were gonna say I'll do Khal Drogo because that was gonna make a joke, but
I'll do Khal Drogo.
that's what she
Who wouldn't? Khal Drogo is a 4-cost unique character. He's a Lord and a Dothraki. He's looking incredible. Also,
fantastic art.
he's 3 strength with military and power and the War Crest. He has renown. If it is summer, each of your characters gets +2 strength, while you control more attachments than each opponent.
Meh.
Meh.
That's what I think of
I think
him.
it's a meh card. I don't think you'll run him over the other Cal.
He's decent. It would take a niche deck essentially. Something
It's
tailored
like
to
you have
him.
the War Crest like raised claim decks.
But the other one's worth this too, right?
I mean,
Pretty
if
good. Yeah,
if you're
for sure.
running Dothraki Summer, or Summer Agenda, or if you want it to be Summer, +2 strength on all those characters, they get a lot of characters out.
The-
You
the
control
thing
more
is, like,
attachments.
9 times out of 10, they don't need that strength in that deck.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's what I keep coming
Like,
back to. They've got a billion
the
icons.
only deck that can battle that deck on military strength or strength in general, usually military. Let's be real here. Are like a Stark siege deck
Like
and
Siege
maybe
Army.
Robert's Warcrest deck. I mean, it's just not usually a necessary thing.
Here's the thing, I'm gonna note about this card that I just realized.
Yes.
It's each of your characters, not each of your Dothraki characters.
Yeah.
So
It's the whole board.
the reason I'm saying that is this is potentially a Khal Drogo that's going to be seen not in a Dothraki deck.
Yeah.
But
Probably
just-
better outside
he's a lord,
of a Dothraki
he's
deck.
got renown, he's got a crest, he's got solid icons, and if it's a Summer Targaryen deck of any kind, he could easily find his way happening there.
Valerian Bounds.
Because there are some Targaryen builds that would use the strength and they would use it very well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Targaryen summer stuff. Even just in a burn deck, it could make threat from the north, not hurt your dudes. And you're running attachments anyway. Like you have Forever Burning on the table or something. I think it's really solid.
Mhm.
But again, it's not glamorous.
Yeah.
It's not a
It's a
lot.
hard worker. I mean, it's
I feel like this is the kind of card that there will come a day, there will come a deck that uses this, and it uses it well. It's not going to be the centerpiece of the deck, but he will be in the deck. You'll be playing Summer. I'll be like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if all of my characters had +2 strength?
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you do get him out, you can't deny. I think this effect is much stronger in Targaryen than it is in Greyjoy, personally.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of what you might need strength-wise. Targaryen isn't lighting the world on fire when it comes to really efficient, high-strength characters. From what I've seen, you guys might just be playing your
We
Shadow
have-
Parasites. And
We have really
nonsense.
good icons, but we don't
Yeah.
have huge strength.
Yeah, so he could just slot into maybe any deck. I don't know.
Watch out.
Watch out, Cal. That's 4 costs.
Solid character is what I'll say.
Solid. Not liquid.
And it's not other characters, by the way, so he
Yeah.
helps himself.
He does help himself.
Ooh. Next up, Slaver's Bay, a 2-cost unique, the East location that reads, response. If it is summer, after you win a power challenge, kneel Slaver's Bay to put a non-unique character from any opponent's discard pile into play under your control. What is going on?
I don't like it.
What is going on?
I mean, I love it. I think it's great.
It's scary.
I'm
But
just
I don't
picturing
like
those dead when it's, or is it discard or dead?
Discard.
Discard. Even more useful.
With Threat from the North, you get a lot of stuff in the discard pile. So
It's one of the it's
I don't
it's
know
under
if
your
you
control.
dream
It doesn't
Yeah.
go away like
Yeah.
a lot of effects. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Slaver's Bay. That's
Yeah,
a good
Slaver's
card.
Bay,
That's a
man.
good card. All right, who's up?
All right. Up next we have the Dothraki Vanguard. It's a 3-cost target card. It's 2 strength, military power icon. It's a bannerman and a Dothraki. What? Response: after you play Dothraki Vanguard from your hand, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. You may put one revealed Dothraki character into play. Shuffle the other cards back into your deck.
sweet Jesus.
Hey,
Sweet.
this would be good, except for the fact that Ilaria Sand is going to say, LOL, Oh yeah, put it in a play.
Dude,
Do it.
Put it in a
I ain't worried about Larson. Larson's dead. All right, so
So that one dude that just
Brazen
released
Screamers?
broke the game for the Dothraki.
What they're called, right? Brazen Screamers?
Did
No.
he get restricted? Or you got errated.
You got
didn't
errated
You
hard.
got errated.
Yeah.
You
For
can only-
obvious reasons.
you can only do it once, right? Once
Yeah,
per
I
phase
believe
or
so.
So here
card.
comes this guy.
It kind of
Well,
erases
I mean,
that problem.
Picture this: you drop him in into the other guy.
Yeah, that's
who
what
comes into play.
Yeah, and then that lets you go get another
You,
one.
no, you have to play. They did it smarter this time. You have to play him, so you have to pay the cost. You can't put him in. And
Right, no,
trigger
that's
his
what we're
ability.
saying. You play this guy, you play him for reals,
Mhm.
and then you search the top 5 cards, and you get a. Is it
One
Brazen
of the screamers, yeah, the
No,
braided,
this
braided
says
screamers.
you may put one revealed Dothraki character into play.
Yeah, I'm saying
Yeah.
you have to play this guy though.
Yes.
Right.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying
yeah,
is we
yeah.
play. You play this guy for 3, then you get the Brazen Screamers.
Yeah.
Is that what they're called?
No.
Braided.
Braided
Braided.
Screamers.
Their ponytails.
And then
are braided.
then you play that. Then you trigger all the other ones that are in play as well.
Yeah.
Then you start your deck for that, and then you get another one of these guys maybe. Play it.
These guys are looking very Mongol-y too.
I don't
like
know.
it.
I mean, I think at a certain point you're gonna have this Dothraki deck that is terribly consistent and more or less plays itself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just vomit.
It's a
Dothraki.
horde machine. I've never seen a horde machine
You just
like
vomit
the
Dothraki?
Dothraki thing.
Well,
It's
I'm
crazy.
picturing too, like
It
there's
feels
the,
Dothraki. I mean,
Mhm.
in a way, but I'm worried.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would say with like all these bleed type cards, we got one in the last pack for Greyjoy and somebody else, Stark maybe.
Discard.
Discard.
Discard. But I mean, there's like clear effects, and they have a propensity, at least that I've noticed, that they kind of explode violently in the first couple of rounds, and then you Valor or Wildfire or something like that, and then they are just completely battleship sunk. But nonetheless, if you aren't running one of those cards, it kind of puts the impetus on you.
Yeah, totally. So anyway, I think the Vanguard like allows you to not do that, like what you're
Mhm.
saying, where you used to have to play them all out, and then the Screamers really helped you do that. Now you can hold like a Vanguard in hand or hold the Screamers in hand, wait for them to Valor, and the whole thing kind of starts back up again.
Totally.
Yeah.
So that's good. So wait, let's just have a roundtable about Song of Ice and Song of Fire.
Yeah, good
right.
call.
We've got both of these. Starting with Song of Fire, if no opponent is running a Seasons agenda, it cannot be Winter. If it's Summer, increase each player's draw count by 1. And then Song of Ice, if no opponent is running a Seasons agenda, it cannot be Summer. If it's Winter, each player must choose and discard down to 4 cards in hand at the end of the dominance phase.
Powerful.
Fantastic. So Song of Ice, obviously insane. Everyone, I think, is worried about this card, rightly so.
Mhm.
It changes everything. And the Laughing Storm gets crazier and crazier as we move forward. What about Song of Fire? That's really Lannister, you're saying?
Yeah, that was the theory. I think that holds true, at least from what we've seen thus far. I mean, these are powerful. It kind of makes seasonal effects harder to come by because you must run these things. But aside from that, I think Winter is the Song of Ice that is way more potent on the whole. It's
yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
Or
I feel like these-
Shores.
these agendas are, at least the Song of Fire is good, but not like
Mhm.
gonna break anything. I think there will be decks that use it. Song of Ice will see a lot of play.
But that said, I think at least out of this pack, the impression that I got anyway was that there were more generally potent summer effects than there were winter
It
ones.
felt a little summer heavy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's the trend they're going to go for. If that just happened to be the kind of gist that I got from this particular pack, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. So I think we'll just play with Song of Ice and Fire. These are the kind of things I don't really have a lot to say right now because there's just you don't quite know yet. I mean,
Yeah.
we know they're good, especially Song of Ice is ludicrous.
Mhm.
But how it will play, where the meta will kind of shift because of these things, the styles that will shift, we'll see. I think it'll be an adjustment, especially with Song of Ice. But it's also maybe healthy,
Yeah.
to not have somebody with 20 cards. The only problem is that that person was the Laughing Storm player that had
Mhm.
20 to 25 cards, and this does nothing.
Mhm.
So again, let's pick up a
Well,
Laughing
I mean,
Storm,
like,
shall we?
I would actually welcome if they were to say something like an errata on Song of Ice, like this effect cannot be prevented,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah, something, or
Mhm.
just
I feel like a Song of Ice is particular. Like I feel like it would be strong out of Stark,
yeah.
Mhm.
like super strong. 'cause
Any
they don't do
Greyjoy would
they
run
don't
it
do
well
intrigue.
too. I mean,
So it's like I'm not controlling your hand too well anyway most of the time. And it's like, it's just a natural way to limit their hand.
Also, I'll say we've been indoctrinated with this Stark doesn't do intrigue
They do
thing
it.
for so
They
long,
do it.
and they have some of the best intrigue
Yeah,
characters. in the
that's a
game.
myth.
It's the Stark
Hardcore.
secret, is what it is.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, and here's Reek.
They are just fine.
Stealing
yeah.
your dudes.
By the way, I'll take that guy. Trade you. Good trade.
So there you go. I mean, there's the Fire and Ice chapter pack. Hopefully you guys dig it.
This
I
is
think,
a must
I think
have.
this is an important chapter pack. Of
Unbelievable.
anyone that we've seen in recent memory, this is a heavy hitter.
Mm-hmm.
As far as just options it opens up and just quality of cards.
Totally.
Very, very fantastic. So thanks for watching, guys. We do appreciate it. If you want to check out Fire and Ice, we sell it on our store, teamcovenant.com/store. We'll get you there. Or stop by here locally and check it out. Grab it. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time around.